because we don't know precisely what makes a website ADA compliant, we need to ask another question. We need to ask whether Shopify websites are automatically WCAG 2.1 AA conformant. So why are we asking this? Well, because the ADA is unclear. The standard for ADA is meaningful access. So it's unclear when a website is meaningfully accessible and when it's not. And so when we look for clarity, we need to look to technical standards that have been referenced and cited over and over again to have a clear baseline on what we need to do. And the present technical standards are the Web Content Accessibility Guidelines, version 2.1, conformance level AA, and these have been referenced by courts, by plaintiffs' lawyers, by the Department of Justice. They've been used internationally. These are highly robust standards that help us ensure that our website is at an excellent level of accessibility. So is Shopify out of the box WCAG 2.1 AA conformant? No, but nor is any other website builder's templates, especially when you consider that every template is going to be customized, and when a user customizes a website template, they can take it out of WCAG 2.1 AA conformance depending on what they do with their customization. So for example, let's say that I put an image on a website, but I don't assign an accurate alternative text value to it. That would mean that I had taken the website out of conformance if it was in conformance. So when we ask, are Shopify websites ADA compliant, it's a bigger question, and we have to look at the specifics. So I like to look at things in terms of the Web Content Accessibility Guidelines, because there we have explicit guidelines that we can look to, and we can see, and we can subjectively determine whether or not we meet those guidelines. And whereas with the ADA, we might think that we have provided meaningful access, but a plaintiff's law firm may not, and they may decide to initiate litigation regardless of what we think. Of course, that can happen whether or not you're in conformance with WCAG 2.1 AA, but if you are in conformance, it is highly unlikely that you would receive litigation. So generally, Shopify websites, I think Shopify needs to do a better job with their templates out of the box. They have some apps in the App Store that claim to make your website accessible or WCAG conformant, but these plugins do not work, or they might be referred to as apps. Whatever the case, they're basically widgets that you can install on your website, and then accessibility options present themselves. These options do not work for accessibility. I know that's in stark contrast to what the plugins or apps or widgets or overlays, as they're sometimes often referred to. I know that's directly opposes the claims that are made by these overlays. But that is the truth, is they do not address accessibility in terms of, I will say that they do not make you ADA compliant. ADA compliant means meaningful access. These overlays do not provide meaningful access. So that's a side tangent. I have another video on that. But the important part is that when you have a Shopify website, it is not instantly accessible. And I think Shopify can do more on that regard. But even if Shopify has excellent templates out of the box, there is still work to be done on the part of the user to ensure accessibility. When I say user, I mean the customer who is building the Shopify website. So that's what you should keep in mind when using Shopify or any other website builder. It doesn't matter if it's Squarespace or Wix or GoDaddy Website Builder or any other e-commerce platform. When you have this when you're using these platforms, keep in mind that many of them don't start from a place of accessibility, and you need to customize your website to ensure accessibility.